Live from the Charles Fry Academic Center, the pride and pulse of Lancaster Bible College, it's LBC Tonight. Derek Bigley. And shortly Derek tonight, our special guests, Taylor Glessner, Kristi Leigh, and musical guest, Mariah Keener. And also featuring the groovy tunes, the Chunes. And your announcer, devilishly handsome, Prescott. Now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your host, Derek Bigley.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to all of you watching at home in your section or alone in your dorm room. You're witnessing history tonight. This is the first ever TV production to be broadcasted by LBC students, and I'm so incredibly blessed and honored to be a part of it. There are so many people who have put in a lot of work to make this show possible, and I hope by the end of the season to be able to acknowledge each and every one of them. But there are a few people I have to recognize tonight. First and foremost, Dr. Freeman, the chair of our communication department, who also wears the hats of advisor, teacher, mentor, and friend. He has been in support of this project from the start and has helped to prepare us for this very moment. So, thank you, Dr. Freeman. Next, Dr. Adrienne Garvey. Garvey, in many ways, is the reason I'm standing here right now. She was one of my very first professors in the communication department, was instrumental in the design of the communication wing of the Fry Center, which includes this TV studio, and was the one who not only inspired me to pursue the dream of hosting an LBC Tonight show, but also gave me the courage, the confidence, and the skills to do so. Garvey, we miss you, but we want to thank you for the impact you had on all of us, and we know you are continuing to influence and inspire students down in the great state of Florida, which just so happens to be my hometown, if you didn't know. It's pretty cool. Hopefully you're watching this and taking pride in the work you accomplished here in Lancaster, and guys, make sure you're giving me enough headroom here or Garvey will hunt you down. Trust me, not a good time. Right, Preston? No? Okay. Too soon? Too soon? Okay. Next, to acknowledge the man who single-handedly ensured that this show would at least look professional, my uncle, Douglas Montague. Yes. Uncle Doug put in hours of work mentoring me, brainstorming with me, and designing the logo and the look for this show. He and a member of his design team were also responsible for the incredible opening credit sequence that you all saw at the very beginning of the show. And so thank you to Uncle Doug and Chaz Roberts. You guys are artistic wizards. And finally, lastly, but certainly not leastly?
Nope,
No?
not
I think so. Nope. I need to acknowledge my partner in crime, the woman putting in all the hard work behind the scenes while I'm having fun messing around out here. The logistical mastermind that grounds the dreamer in me. My producer, Lindsey Horning, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are unaware, this show is fulfilling the senior project requirement for both Lindsey and myself, and I'm so thankful to have her working alongside me in this endeavor. So thank you, Linz. Now, in order for a late night show to be done right, there are a few things that every host needs. Firstly, he needs a band. And I'm proud to say that I've got some of LBC's finest musicians on stage with me this semester. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Sheriff on the drums. Ty Godfrey on the bass. And the ringleader, Jake Huber, tickling the ivories. The Chunes, ladies and gentlemen. The next thing every host needs is a sidekick. Someone on stage with him who is, well, actually funny. Filling the role of LBC Tonight's announcers, one of the goofiest guys I know, and my good friend, Preston Gaines. Preston, buddy, there's no one I'd rather have working with me. Don't do it! Anyways, you know how it goes, so thanks, man. This whole time I've been going on and on so far is the time during most shows when the host performs a comedic monologue of some kind, generally highlighting whatever's going on in politics, the lives of celebrities, sports, and, well, you get the idea. And while I do intend to do some of that during this run, I find that my abilities are more suited to those of a musical nature. So I've decided instead to begin every LBC Tonight show with a musical number. And while I've taken quite a bit of time already with this special introduction, I've heard that consistency is a very important thing, and, well, I'm feeling pretty good right now, so what do you guys think? Should we just go for it?
Wait, whoa. Derek, how'd you say you were feeling?
Good. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day's done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world, and a bold world for me. For me. The Chunes, ladies and gentlemen. Get along that brass section. Oberholtzer on the trombone. Zembower on the trumpet. Gotta love those guys. Pretty great. It's time to get serious, folks. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Ha! It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. The Chunes, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to that brass section, our guest musicians for this evening, Oberholtzer, Zembower. I'm your host, Bigley, and you're watching LBC Tonight. Welcome. Thank you for being here. LBC Tonight. This is crazy. We're here. We're doing it. This has been months and months of preparation, years of dreaming, and we're finally here. So thank you so much to all of you for being here. This means so much to me, each and every one of you being here. And wow, this is crazy. This started off, for those of you who don't know, I got to host my own radio show last year called The Big Show. That's right. And Preston joined me as a co-host on that last semester, which was forethought on my part, knowing that I wanted to do this down the road. So we got to work on our team chemistry a bit, and yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're hanging in there. But anyway, so we're obviously super excited to be presenting original content to LBC students, the LBC community, and yeah. So now Preston, all this thinking about the past has, well, it's stimulated the contemplatory nodes of my brain, and I'm suddenly feeling quite speculative.
Now, that is most interesting, because I am ready to be pondered.
Wait. You're
So let's ponder.
Oh, let's ponder. I guess that's time. It's time for a segment that we like to call speculations. Speculation.
You know, Derek,
I'm having a thought, Preston.
if a one-handed man gets arrested, do you still handcuff him?
See, now that is an idea. I mean, because click, oh, see ya. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they've got to have something down for that sort of situation. You would think.
To something.
True, but then he's not quite as mobile.
Correct. So I guess that'll do the job.
Yeah, I don't know, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, sure.
We'll leave it up to the men in blue.
Yeah, no problem.
Indeed. What if sand is called sand because it's in between the sea and the land?
It has to be.
That is a deep thought, Preston.
There's no other way the creators of the English language just put those two words together.
That would be quite a coincidence,
Yeah.
if you ask me.
Quite.
So.
What if Trump didn't tweet?
Well,
Would the world be a better place?
It would be quite a different place, wouldn't it? You know, I don't know if, yeah, I mean, we could say lots of things about that, about,
For sure.
you know, the responsibility of, you know, the leader of our nation, certain, but, you know, we don't need, I think actions speak louder than words. I just want to, you know, protest that.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, okay, no, we won't do that. Are we allowed to do that here?
That's why this is not live, and we edit this out later.
True, yes.
That's why we do that. Yeah.
But we won't be editing that out.
Yeah, okay. Your senior project, Big Show. Your senior project.
That's right. If a synchronized swimmer drowns, does the other have to too? I mean, I guess in order to get the points,
you wanna
right?
win.
If you want to win. I mean, how dedicated are you?
Yeah.
Is the real question here.
At this point, you're an Olympian. I'm
Right.
assuming.
But does that make someone an accessory to murder in that situation? Or?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Again,
If they knew they were drowning.
we'll let the police handle
Yeah,
that.
well,
The
yeah, for
experts.
sure.
They're the experts. We're not. We just
Hopefully they weren't
we just speculate. That's all we do.
What if Christians didn't get offended every time someone who's not a Christian acted like a non-Christian?
Now you're just being ridiculous.
Oh, no.
That's silly. That's silly, Preston.
My bad.
I mean,
My bad.
but in all seriousness, if only, you know, early church fathers had written about this very thing and how we should interact with those who don't think the same
If
way.
only we had
I mean, that would
instructions
be-
on how to treat these people.
I know. What if things that went without saying actually weren't said? Would anything get accomplished?
It's definitely rhetorical. Like, it has to be.
It has to, but it's also such kind of like a derogatory phrase, and like it's generally used for manipulation. Like, well, you know, this goes without saying, but
True, in relationship, this goes without saying, but you shouldn't cheat on me. Yeah, that's correct.
That's true.
Those are
So,
things
I don't know.
that took it to the extreme
But
there, by the way. We're just cheating on each other now.
We can talk. We can talk later, buddy. That's okay. Well, anyways, that's a segment that we like to call speculations, folks. Speculation. It's going to be a fun night. Make sure you all stick around. Taylor Glessner's coming up right after the break. Chunes, take it away. Welcome back to LBC Tonight. Our first guest this evening is a One Life and LBC alumni. She was born and raised in Lancaster County and is now giving back to her community in a new and exciting way. She is the founder and owner of Dough & Co., a business coming soon to Lancaster County. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together for Taylor Glessner.
To be here.
Thanks. Welcome back to campus. Have you been around much since you graduated?
Yeah, you know, I come here every once in a while.
Nice.
Coffee's here, people are
True.
here.
True.
You know.
Yeah. Do you still have
I
some
live
friends
across
that
the
are around?
street.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. You do. So you're around. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So Taylor, I read in your bio that you love to travel. Is that
Yes.
what initially brought you into that drew your attention to One Life, or what?
Yeah.
Were you, yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up loving to travel, meeting people. People were kind of my thing, and I heard about One Life, which included travel and people. So I was like, oh, perfect. Sign me up.
Nice.
So that's how I came to One Life.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing this really cool thing called Dough & Co.
Yes.
now.
Yes.
When did the idea form for this business, and how did that all come about?
So after One Life, I went to LBC and graduated, and then afterwards, One Life came out with an entrepreneurial program, and so I went into that, and through that program, the idea kind of came about, and then we started this business. So
Nice.
yeah.
So, okay, I know you're not revealing everything yet about the
Right.
business. There's some hush stuff about this.
Can't give out all
can't
our
reveal
secrets.
everything. Yeah, exactly. But could you define for me in the parameters that you're comfortable with of what Dough & Co. is and the services that you will provide?
So Dough & Co. is actually an edible cookie dough shop. So you come in, I know, and you can get cookie dough by the scoop, and you just eat it right there. Yes, I know, right? I know.
That's pretty cool.
I know. Thank you.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you just eat it.
That's so cool. Now, again, I was reading your bio because I like to study and all that stuff, and I was seeing that there were some speed bumps along the way to get to the point that you are today. As far as you had the idea for the business, and then it took a while for things to kind of form into the way that they did.
Yeah. So I, by nature, am not really organized, detailed, or any of that stuff. So,
I know nothing about that.
Yeah. So business to me was kind of way out there. I was just like, I'm not going to do that. I was more of a creative. Right. Photography was my jam. Still kind of is. But through following the Lord's lead into the One Life entrepreneurial program, I discovered that, yes, even though I am creative, the business world needs creative people to thrive. And so, yeah, it was hard at first learning the things that I was learning because I wasn't used to it. But through time, finally learned somewhat of what I'm doing. And so here we are today, and the business will be starting soon. So
that's awesome. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Now, Taylor, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we have cookie dough samples for everyone in the house tonight.
You get cookie dough. You get cookie dough.
that
Everybody's
right?
getting cookie
So-
dough tonight.
If we could get Tim to start handing out the cookie dough samples, Tim, if you're around, that'd be
Tim, where
great.
you at?
And we will all, if you can restrain yourselves, we will all sample this at the same time. I only have one spoon.
It's for you.
Hey, okay. I mean, I have a tip.
Just kidding.
Tim,
this
if
is
you
for
have
me.
extra spoons, I'd love for Taylor to eat this as well.
Yes.
This feels like a slightly less healthy version of communion.
No, it's gonna happen at some point. You'll see this in your neighborhood church. Please don't edit that out.
Yeah, I thought I was the one I was going to have to keep an eye on tonight. Goodness, Taylor.
Sorry.
All right, so while that's going around, what will we be sampling
So
tonight?
this is our classic chocolate chip cookie dough.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yep.
I'm so
Yep.
excited.
Yes. You should be.
And are you allowed to reveal any of the other flavors that you maybe?
Yeah. So one of our more popular ones, you could say, is what we call our Lancaster batch, and that involves Nutella, sea salt, caramel, and crushed pretzels. Yep. Yes. Yes.
That
That's
sounds
one.
amazing.
One of my other favorites is our s'mores cookie dough. So graham crackers, marshmallow,
yum.
chocolate, chocolate. So
That's amazing.
yes. Yeah. Those
All
are
right.
some.
Well,
Those are
let's try this thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Tim, if you do you have an extra spoon that Taylor can use? If not, then I mean, all right.
I mean,
I'm gonna just try this
I'm
thing.
good with my fingers. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so good. And this is completely and totally safe to eat. Unlike what your grandmother would tell you, this is
Exactly.
All right. Sweet.
You can eat as much as you want.
Amazing.
It sounds like church.
Hallelujah. That's amazing. Oh my word. Well, Taylor, thank you so much
You do it again.
for this and for coming on the show. Seriously though, I really appreciate you taking the time to come out here, and I can't wait to see what you guys are gonna do downtown, and
Thanks,
you get
Derek.
to actually come out and try all the flavors. And
Yes.
it's gonna be
Thank
great.
you.
So.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Anyways, Taylor Glessner, ladies and gentlemen. Really glad to see you. Coming up after the break, I will be joined by WJTL's own Kristi Leigh. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to LBC Tonight. My next guest is the host of WJTL's Praise and Worship Show on Sunday mornings and the radio broadcasting professor here at LBC. She was a drive-time DJ for WJTL for 13 years and is the winner of 3 Excellence in Broadcasting Awards from the Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters. Folks, give it up for Kristi Leigh. This is so fun.
This is awesome.
Don't you love TV?
Well, I don't know yet. That was a very dramatic, like coming forth from behind a curtain.
yes.
For a DJ, that was like
Yeah.
very literal for me. So
I had to practice it
I
a
know
lot.
I have to get used to it.
Yeah.
Derek, this is awesome. I have to say, congratulations on everything.
Thanks.
And the trombone, I think, is a nice touch.
Right.
I think a lot of places don't have the like sheer square footage to have a trombone in part of the late night band. But yeah, you're doing it really well, and it adds a lot.
He's a pro.
So, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you were just doing something cool in the other room.
Yeah.
How'd that interview go?
interview went great. Jared Anderson is here tonight to do a concert.
Yeah.
And he had time to stop by and have some of the students interview him. So we synchronized the stations. That's one of the cool things that we can do here, as you well know from your experience with Steve Taylor.
Yes.
But we can synchronize the stations, be on air in both places at the same time here on campus and on WJTL. So it takes a lot of, like, you know, very particular coordination, but we did it.
There are professionals specifically for that job. I mean,
I guess so.
It takes a
few of them working together, but yeah.
How many people are over at WJTL scrambling around while we're just
at
like
least 2 or
everything's
3.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's plenty here. So
Yes.
yeah. But it worked. That was the awesome part. It totally worked.
Well, and it's a great experience. Like, I loved getting to interview Steve Taylor last
Yeah.
year, and yeah, so it's a great experience for just to, I mean, there's like, you know, a musical professional in the room with you, and you just get to ask him questions and I mean, try not to sound stupid. It's a great
And you
time.
didn't. You didn't.
Thank
You sounded great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Means a lot. But, so, Kristi, you graduated from Cedarville University and with a degree in broadcasting. And so how did you end up at WJTL, and what did those early years of your career look like?
Yeah. So I mean, I think God is responsible for the whole thing. I didn't see it coming. I started studying music at Cedarville.
Oh, really?
And for me, I had kind of been not faking sight reading piano, but I was better by ear, you know, playing by ear for sure. But I at one point realized I'm going to be a piano teacher. Like, this is the likely career path that I'm on. And I didn't think I could do it. So I scrambled and just happened to find the student station at Cedarville, and I fell in love with radio. And it just kind of all fell in place. Everything worked out. WJTL station manager Fred McNaughton and I go way, way back. I went to church with him at Hershey Free Church growing up. So I asked for my internship there, and everything fell in line from there. So yeah, I've loved every minute of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's a little bit daunting when you exit college. I mean, I'm about to, and especially when you're in some sort of performance career, and so that's cool. I mean, yeah. No, WJTL is so great, and I've loved every experience that I've gotten to go and just learn from Fred and from you and from everyone over there. So yeah, and thanks for teaching me. That was fun. We'll get to that
you're
later,
doing a fine job.
But, thank you. Now,
the bonus points don't apply anymore, though. You know that, right? Like sorry.
So Kristi, you're married and you have a son.
That's right.
How old is your son now?
2.5.
2.5. That's
He just got a haircut a lot like yours,
Oh, yeah?
and he looks like he's like 5. So I'm dealing with that today. That happened last night while I was teaching class. The haircut happened. And I wasn't there to be like, okay, that's all right. But yeah.
Is that why you were crying back at the
Yeah, I was. It's still really sensitive.
I'm sorry for bringing it up. But anyways, all that to say, how did starting a family change your DJ career?
Changed everything.
Yeah.
So I went from working, 40+ hours a week live at WJTL to now I've found a way to do it while my son naps. I hope he still naps for a long time. But while he naps, I go and record, and I'm able to connect to all the computers.
That's right.
So where there's a will, there's a way, especially thanks to the internet.
Right.
But yeah, I can still make it work. I can still do the praise and worship show mostly from home. Of course, I go in for concerts and fill in for people, but I really, really want to be home right now with my son.
Right.
So it's kind of a best of both worlds situation. It requires a lot of balance and being very intentional.
Yeah.
But it's working. So
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you still record in that closet?
We moved houses, so now I'm
Okay.
in. I actually was literally in my closet because the acoustics in there were really good. So scarves, sweaters, and microphone. So that was, but now
That's good because the
now
AC
it's
wasn't great in
drapes
that room.
instead. Yeah. But I have my keyboard right here, and so I can do music recording and voice recording all in a slightly bigger room.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got upgraded.
Thanks.
That's good. Now, besides being a DJ at WJTL, you also teach radio broadcasting here. That's still true, correct?
That's still
Okay,
true.
good.
We've got another batch of students that are studying it. They're getting ready to launch their shows. You know
awesome.
the feeling.
I know the
so
feeling.
in a week or 2 here, they'll be launching their radio shows. It's an
That's so
exciting
cool.
time.
That's great, and you're still enjoying doing that.
It's a lot of fun, especially when you find out what students are passionate about.
Right.
That's when it becomes even more meaningful. And so it goes from just fun to meaningful fun. So.
Well, I know I had a ton of fun. I think we had almost too much fun in that class, but I learned.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I learned so much.
And you probably got an A too, right?
I think I
It
did.
wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
Do the work, have some fun, get an A.
Exactly.
Who else wants to take my class? Yes. Okay.
Join communication at
Yeah.
LBC. You're welcome, Freeman, for that. But yeah, I mean, in all honesty, doing my radio show in your class really prepared me for this experience. I mean, as much as I can be prepared for this experience. And so I'm really thankful for everything that you taught me and just your guidance through that process, because that was, I mean, I remember my first episode on the air being terrified. I was so scared.
kidding.
Mariah can attest to that when she comes out here, because she was my first guest. But yeah, I was so scared, and just that built so much confidence. And then, I mean, to think of doing this, like before doing the radio, that would have been so scary. So, so yeah, thank you for.
You're welcome.
teaching
Although
me
I
that.
hope that some of the radio students will stay in radio.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, TV is pretty fun.
But yeah, you find what you fall in love with. You got to try a few different things.
Exactly.
So
I'm sorry.
I'm
that
glad
I
that you
didn't
tried
say
that.
Well,
it'll come in handy.
it was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. It already has come in handy.
Oh,
Yeah,
good,
so-
good, yeah.
Yeah.
See?
So yeah, thank you, Kristi, for joining me on the show tonight. I really appreciate you coming out, and yeah. So make sure you tune in to WJTL 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Sunday mornings.
People up that early?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of them.
True. Okay. I guess you know.
Farmers, pastors, my
True.
mom.
That's great. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. That's where you can find Kristi Leigh on WJTL. Thanks, Kristi.
Thanks, Derek.
After this break, I will be joined by one of my good friends who also happens to be a local rock star, and we'll get to hear what's been going on with her lately. Mariah Keener, coming up after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Our final guest this evening is our musical guest for the evening. She graduated from LBC with a bachelor's in worship arts in May 2016 and is currently a full-time worship leader at LCBC, as well as the music supervisor for Prima Theater. She debuted her first EP, Light, back in March of 2016, which can be found on iTunes and elsewhere on the interwebs. And it is set to release, she's set to release a brand new single in just a few short weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mariah Keener. Hey.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Of course, it seemed only fitting, considering you were my first guest on my
Yeah.
radio show last year.
Which was called?
Oh, it was the Big Show.
The Big Show.
Yeah, that's right. So,
Does he follow you around and do that?
yes. Just random times throughout the day. I'll just be like, oh,
You don't
dude,
even see
how's
him.
the
He's
Big
just
Show
like
going?
around
The Big
you.
Show. It's just like, ah! Yeah, it's just all the time. Anyways, so last year, around this same time actually, was when
Yeah.
I was launching The Big Show.
The Big Show.
And
We'll never get through this interview.
never. It shall never be spoken of again.
The show that shall not be
The
named.
show that shall not be named. Got him. So we last time you were on the show, we talked about your EP,
Yes.
Light.
Yes.
And you gave me this awesome. Lissa, can you give me a close up on this? This is Light in frame form. We've got the cover art here and a personalized message to me, and I almost started crying when you gave this to me last year.
The beauty of radio is you didn't see
I
him
did
sobbing.
too. Yeah, well,
He was sobbing.
yes. It was a very stressful time for me, and that was super cool. So, anyways, that's Light, and it's a great EP, and I love your music. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And you had just started your new job at LCBC,
Yes.
which you are still doing.
Yeah.
And you were loving it last year, and
Yeah.
are you still loving
I
it?
still love it.
That's great.
Still love it. No, I'm just kidding. I do. No, it's great. It's amazing. There's some days where I like sit in my office and literally just listen to music and like create it for like 7 hours, and I'll be driving home and I'm like, I just got paid to make music for 7 hours. It's just surreal.
That's awesome.
It's great. And to top it all off, I get to lead people in worship on weekends, you know. It's the best of both worlds.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And so now you are also working with Prima Theater downtown,
Yeah.
and that's newer. It wasn't a thing last year, and now
Yeah,
it's a thing. So that's pretty neat.
So they wrote me in to perform for a thing, and then a couple weeks later we had a conversation. They're like, "Would you supervise the next season?" I was like, "Sure." So that's how that happened.
You must have done okay then.
Yeah.
That's great. So what do your responsibilities look like there?
So I oversee basically any shows that they do. I oversee like making sure that the music happens. If I'm not music directing a show, I'll oversee the music directors, make sure they have what they need, and coordinate them with tech and all of that fun behind the scenes stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Now, the times that you get to be in front of the scenes as a singer-songwriter, you get to write a good bit of music at LCBC. Do you have time to write your own stuff still?
Last year I would have said no.
No.
But I've found a rhythm. I've found that the important thing is making time to write. Like that's the important thing. And I've actually written probably 3 or 4 new songs in the past like couple months. Nice. And I'm actually toying with the idea. So I wrote them. It was just me and my acoustic guitar. I'm just like picking, right? It's like super low key. So I'm thinking of releasing all these songs and titling it Handpicked Songs.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Is that
That's pure gold.
I see Doc laughing, so I'm gonna do it.
Oh yeah, that's a golden idea. No, I love it. That's great. So when can we expect to hear that stuff?
I don't know.
Hey, okay.
I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. So
That's fair.
Let's just say in the next year and a half.
I can deal with that. As long as I get to hear it eventually.
Yeah,
I love me some handpicked songs.
It's gonna be like the subtitle.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I've heard rumor that you have recently completed a new project
Yeah.
with another friend of mine.
Yes.
Who also will be on this show later in the season.
Yes.
That person is Chris Crosdale, who yes.
He's amazing.
He's great. He's so great. Yes. And so tell me about this song that you guys have worked out.
Yeah. So I've been doing this thing where I'm not sleeping, and so I finally got to bed at like 2 a.m. one night in July, and I finally hit the bed, and like all of a sudden these lyrics just came to me. I was like, I'll just write them tomorrow, but they kept like compiling. So I got up and wrote them, and essentially I wrote, we need to reach across religion, politicians, stop division, and start to listen if we're going to see a change. And at that point, I'm like, it's 2 a.m., I'm done. Fast forward, and Charlottesville happened in the middle of August, and I'm sitting there reading the news, and these words come back, and I open my journal, and there they are. And I made the decision that I couldn't let those words stay. I couldn't pass those words up. They needed to be spoken. And so as I continued to write, I realized that I couldn't write a melody. They're more like spoken word rap, which I cannot do, except for Amish Paradise. I'm really good at Amish Paradise. So I texted Chris. I texted him the words, and I said, hey, could you please speak into this from your point of view as a black man that grew up in Washington, D.C., that's experienced life from a whole different set of eyes. Can you write verses for this? And while I did it, I realized that the reason we're in the culture we're in is because people are talking about things, but they're not doing anything. They're complaining about it and pointing fingers, and they're just letting it go. So Chris and I decided that we were going to donate all the proceeds to an organization fighting for racial equality. So I'm actually, right after this, I'm heading to finish up the final mix.
Nice.
And this is the first time I'm telling people, but we're donating the proceeds to the Equal Justice Initiative, which is a law firm that provides representation for minorities that are in prison that just because of the circumstances can't afford good representation. So that's, So it's been scary. I've had to do a lot of research, and it's a whole different vein than like just releasing a pop song and letting it go.
Right.
So it'll be out in probably the first week of November is when you can look for it.
Cool.
So
Cool. And we have a quick clip, audio clip of the final cut, not the final cut,
yeah,
but the final
it's
cut.
the first final
The first
cut.
final
Yeah.
cut. So this is a sneak preview at Mariah and Chris Crosdale's new song, Frontlines. So if we can pull that up, guys, that would be great. See if we can do this.
When we strip it all away, we all remain the same. We all bleed red and want the world to change.
Where do I begin? This may take a minute, it may take a lifetime to find the right rhyme. I'm sick of the silence. When your opinion get violent, characteristic of tyrants, somebody loses their life. They say we gon' be alright, we don't have to fight, right? Alternatively, I might. Alternatives are not fact. The fact is that I am black. In fact, it's more than that. It's more than my melanin. It gets inside your skin.
When we strip it all.
Chris Crosdale,
Yeah, Chris
man.
Crosdale.
Chris Crosdale.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so good. I can't wait to hear the final cut on that.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting, and thank you for taking a stand and doing something about the things that you're passionate about. And so yeah, I'm very thankful for Chris as well, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the final product of that song. So that's exciting, and you know what else is exciting is
What
we're gonna play a game right now.
Okay.
And so this is just an untitled guessing game that we're gonna play.
Cool.
It's time for a guessing game.
The Chunes. Yes.
That's amazing.
That's great. So the way this game works is some would say that this game has been played before under the alias of 5-second summaries, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
And so basically the way this game works is Mariah and I have both selected movie titles that we will attempt to describe to each other in a very short amount of time. So we each have 3, and the first one we will describe the plot of the movie without using character names, actors or directors involved, or really any viable clues.
Perfect.
Exactly. Yes, so the first one will have 5 seconds, the second one will have 3 seconds, and the third one will have 1 word. So, let the
I only
game
watch Disney movies,
begin.
so this might be tough. We'll make it. We'll make it.
No, anyways, all right, so I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
If I might. Preston's running the clock on this. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Ex-con becomes free, gets rich, helps out a little girl, and there's lots of singing.
Done.
Is this a musical?
Am I? Ty's my expert on this game. Am I allowed to give hints after the time's up? No.
Ex-con. No idea.
Ex-con
Uh-huh.
gets free,
Uh-huh.
becomes rich, helps out a little girl, lots of singing.
Oh, Les Mis?
Yeah!
movie.
Does that really count if you like repeat the words again in more
Listen,
than 5 seconds?
listen. I had 5 seconds to explain it. I just reiterated the things that You're not the expert. Ty is. So stay out
That was totally not
of it. It's
allowed.
literally his time. Okay, your turn.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I remember it now.
All right, ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Christian girl gets leukemia, falls in love with this tough guy, and they get married before she dies.
Done.
I don't watch these movies.
Sorry.
Is it The Fault in Our Stars?
No, but that kind of is the same.
It's the same plot, isn't it? That's all I get.
It rhymes with a small. No. It rhymes with
Orange?
A sawtooth derember.
A Walk to Remember. Hey! Hey! Next time. I'll get it next
We're really
time.
good at this
We're
game.
very good at this game. All right, 3 seconds on the clock.
I get so competitive. So.
Well, you're winning 1-0 right now. So, all right, 3 seconds on the clock.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Set, go.
Family of superheroes conquers the world.
Incredibles.
Yes!
I told you, Disney movies, man. Disney movies, and I'm all over it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to lose.
No.
All right. 3 seconds on the clock.
All right. Ready, set, go.
Kid and his rat like to cook together.
Ratatouille.
Stop clapping.
Wait a minute.
Rat is in
But that's, wait, so that's 2 points for me, right? Because she messed, Ty, you're the official. She messed up. I get 2 points.
No.
Fine. It's rigged.
Well,
All right, no clock for this one. We each get one word to describe our movies.
okay.
Good luck.
Yeah, Preston came up with these movies for me. Okay. Dimensional.
Oh, that was clever.
Thank you.
That was good.
Inception?
Oh, dang it. Not clever enough. That was a good guess. It's not. It's not
Dimensional.
Interstellar. It's same director.
Yeah.
That was good.
Same.
Haven't seen the movie.
Dadgum. It's I think that counts. Anyways. All right, so.
Okay, so 1.5 points for me.
Wait. Oh. Wait. What?
Now
No,
she
you have.
goes.
It's
Now
fine.
she goes.
All right, yeah, you go. One word.
Shark.
Jaws.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no. It's a trap. Well, that was our guessing game, ladies and gentlemen. My thanks to Mariah Keener for coming out, and well, you're gonna perform for us. So
yeah.
what are you doing here? You gotta go get ready. So, all right, she'll be back when we come back. Mariah Keener performing live from her album Lights. Don't go anywhere.
Blindsiding heartbreak that rocked my world, sent my head spinning, a million questions running through my mind. I hate hearing whispers about what went wrong. Was it something he said? Was it her fault? And the worst part about it is Is that even I don't know. It was 95 days of pure perfection between two kids with a crazy connection, with the late night talk and lakeside walks, 12-hour road trips and minor league ball games and concerts and ice cream and super cute nicknames. The best 95 days of my life were with you. Can't bring myself to throw in the towel, 'cause I don't know when, I don't know how, but I believe in my heart there's more of our story to tell. But until then, I need you to know that you have all of me. You've unlocked my soul, so I'll patiently wait, pray for you to come home. It was 95 days of pure perfection between two kids with a crazy connection, with late night talks and lakeside walks, 12-hour road trips and minor league ball games and concerts and ice cream and super cute nicknames. The best 95 days of my life were with you. Were with you. It was 95 days of pure perfection between two kids with a crazy connection, with late night talks and lakeside walks, 12-hour road trips and minor league ball games and concerts and ice cream and super cute nicknames. The best 95 days of my life. Oh, the best 95 days of my life were with you. Were with you.
Mariah Keener, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you check out Mariah's album Lights on iTunes and wherever else they should look for it. Mariah, thank you so much for joining me on the show tonight. I really appreciate it, and thanks for sharing your music with us. And my thanks also to Taylor Glessner and Kristi Leigh. Thank you for watching. We had a great time here tonight, and we hope you did too. Tune in next week, same time, same place. I'm Derek Bigley, and you've been watching LBC Tonight. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night.